I got a question for y'all. Can good parents have, like, good parents versus bad kids? Okay? Because there's a whole thing that people go through, or people say that, you know, well, it's the parents' fault, right? When they got kids that are in the streets that are like into like a lot of fuckery, right?
Yeah.
And there are some cases where it's true, right? Where the parents are into a lot of street shit, or, you know, they're just looking at an example of what they've seen their parents going through, right? So they just fucking repeating it. But then there's a lot of examples of people who just have hardworking parents, work doctor, not even doctor, but like nurses, different things like that. And that's popular, especially in the black community, nurses and shit, right? So it's not like your kids, they're watching you fucking out there trapping, right? And even like with a lot of different communities who might not even be the most hood shit, but then the guy gets into fucking a bunch of fuckery. So I say all that to ask y'all, because we've all been in the streets. I'm not saying, because this is, you know, we're not in the streets, but when we got into the streets when we were younger, what was it that influenced y'all to get into the streets?
Money. I didn't have it. You don't have it, right? So you get into it for, well, I assume that everybody gets into, not everybody, but a lot of people do get into it for the money. Fast cash, it's money. Seeing something there that, you know, you might not be able to get, but you got to go work for it. You got to go hustle for it. I was working a job and it was still not enough. So it was just like, fuck, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah. So it wasn't like you were like, yo, everybody's trapping in the fucking house. So like me too.
Nah, I mean, I knew what certain people were doing and shit like that. But to me, it was more of a situation where I just wanted my own shit. I just wanted to get it on my own. I didn't want to ask nobody for nothing. So I just was just like, fuck, let me go work. Then when I realized, oh, this working at Walmart and working at McDonald's is not going to be enough to go get a car. It's just like, shit, what else do I got to do?
Facts.
Okay. What about you, Guttz?
Same thing. Like you said it best. You just want things that you know that like you can't get by doing a 9-to-5, right? You gotta hustle for it, you know what I mean? Like I have an example, like I seen a guy pull up in a Benz, like, you know, in the CLS in front of my building. And the day I seen that car, I'm like, yo, like I was so like, I felt like it was a Lamborghini to me. Like I was like, holy shit, like, you know, like, and I seen a baddie walk downstairs and I never knew she lived in the building or, you know, stayed in my own building. I never seen this girl and she looked so bad walking. I'm like, I was just a younger me looking at the car, looking at the girl going in the whip. I'm just like, yo, like this is something I want, bro. It looked like a spaceship. And before you know, like like years down the line, I got the same car, you know, in a newer version. But yeah, like it's just like things you want, you just know you can't get from a 9-to-5. So it just makes you want to just go out there and get it yourself somehow. Yeah.
I guess with me personally, like, you know, because I didn't grow up in a household where like my mom was a nurse. Okay. Right? Single parent household. It was just me and her. You know what I'm saying? Like I had my aunts that were around and stuff, but they weren't in the streets. Like everybody was super fucking square. And we didn't grow up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? However, single parent household, the amount of money that she can give me, she want to spoil me, but I can't get all the shit just like how you guys, you know what I'm saying? I want to look more fly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, you know, you start to get into the stealing. Like when I was a booster when I was young, you know, like when I was a teenager, like we used to boost clothes like crazy so that we can be fly and then also flip the fucking clothes, right? But when I started like, what we have is like a junior college in Montreal. I started seeing my first bosses and shit, and they had the big Gucci link chains and they were counting big stacks of money like at the school and shit like that. And I was like, yo, how do I get that? How do I get what y'all motherfuckers got? And that's when I was introduced to crack. Right? Like, yo, just move this and then you can have this. Okay.
It's crazy.
So because I remember I was watching Love and Hip Hop, don't hate me, but and Young Jock was on there, right?
Going down.
And so he was getting at his youth because like his youth, I guess, got into a situation where he's friends with somebody that shot up his pops' freaking club. And he's still rocking with the nigga after he shot the nigga's club up.
Yeah.
And Young Josh trying to show him like, yo, fam, like, I'm trying to save you because like, if you're rocking with this nigga, that means you don't rock with me, fam. Because he you know, he got people in danger. He's pretty much making the man lose his club. And like, got to the point where, yo, Young Jock put hands on the man, bro. Like,
pause on the nigga.
Look, first he threw the chair and he was real aggressive and homie was talking and he wasn't hearing it, fam. Like, you gotta go back a little bit. You gotta go back.
But you walking around this telling me I'm wrong for telling you some real I ain't sat here and said you wrong for nothing. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm trying to keep my composure because I know how can get out here. And I'm trying to make sure that this don't happen with myself and my son. I'm not finna play with it. I want you to be the best you. You say you know that.
I'm right here so that can happen. I'm trying to move on. Look at my actions.
Woo!
You gonna swing on me? That won't get it, Javon.
Oh man, Young Jock's a Virgo too. I didn't even
swing
know
on
that.
me.
Right? So even he's so like, you know, but yeah.
But yeah, for that situation, like, just to give more context of it too, because Jock wasn't really in his life like that, right? But he did give the youth a job there or something, so the youth's there, which I think is the wrong thing to do. You can't bring kids around that kind of lifestyle, one, because that's a lifestyle where anything happen. Even though it's just like you feel like, oh, it's a bar, it's my working environment. That environment is wrong. And I think what you need to do, just any parent, is you got to get your kids into hobbies. Find out shit that they like from young and push that shit on them, fam. It could be games, it could be Lego, building shit. Push that shit on them. When you don't and you tell them, oh, they can't do this and they can't do that, that's how they're like, okay, well, let me go get drugs then. You know what I'm saying? Let me go try play basketball. Like, let me do the things that everybody else says that I can possibly get out. But when you're pushing a different narrative into a youth's mind from young, then they have the abilities to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing this. So I don't really want to do that, because that's kind of how I was. I was playing baseball. I was into sports. I was doing shit until my mom and dad broke up, and then it was just like, boop, I ain't have shit to do. I had all the time in the fucking world to go outside to find out about this, watch niggas do this, have girls come over to my crib because my mom was working. So that becomes the problem. But once you get kids into any sort of hobbies that they like, not what you want them to do, what they like, I think a lot of these kids will be saved, fam.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, man. Like, yeah. The idle mind is the devil's playground, right?
Super facts.
So, yeah, man, I just wanted to like pick y'all brain with that right there. You know what I'm saying? Because like, there's a lot of times people will just be like, well, fuck. Well, look, your kid's a fuck boy because look at your parents. They're fuck motherfuckers, right? But no, not really. They might be hardworking people, you know what I'm saying, doing their thing, showing as a good example, and you just did what you decided to do. You know what I'm saying?